Hey guys, it's Sean Zing, the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor, and
Matthew Victoria, Matt's your mortgage guy.
what's going on, my man? How's everything going? How was your weekend?
Weekend was good. I had my business partner Marty over with his wife and their kids. Did a little swim in the pool. I smoked some ribs and barbecued some chicken.
You have one of those inflatable pools, right?
Yeah, we've got one of those 18-foot Intex above ground knockdown, tear down pools that I bought last year. You can't even find one right now.
No, I was actually looking for one yesterday. Yeah, because I had the baby pool, and we had her in the baby pool, and I went to the garage to go grab the other blow up thing I had for it was like a 4.5 maybe by a 6 foot pool, like maybe 2 feet deep. And I go to blow it up, and there's a big freaking hole in it from, I guess, being in the garage on the ground, probably too much heat. It just killed it. So I had an idea to go and get inside of a pool yesterday, but that didn't happen. But it was nice just to be outside and had my feet inside the pool. Didn't go inside of a pool. How are the ribs
Yeah.
though?
Oh, the ribs came out awesome. And then we have a butcher near us in Edison. It's called Nick's Meats. And I went and picked up some ribeyes for Sunday to barbecue. And oh my God, dude. Like, you truly get what you pay for. And the meat from his place, it's expensive, it's pricey, but you know what? It's worth it.
And as long as you can cook it properly, if you don't know how to cook it, you could really waste that money as well.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's I always put salt, pepper, and garlic on my meat, but it's actually they say just put salt and pepper on it and then just cook it on the grill for a steak.
it's really how easy it is usually. But if you are one that eats steak that has to be like a hockey puck, that's not the way to cook steak. That's for sure. It has to. You're just ruining a good piece of meat.
That's my dad. I just burn it for him. Like, here you go.
It's like, wow, I don't know. Just like burgers, I don't like that happening. But no, man, it's hot. It's the summertime. It's the market is intense. Things are happening. People are having open houses down and their lines wrapping around the whole block. Then there's some agents are doing nothing and they're complaining. Oh, there's nothing out there. And I'm like, wait a minute, like I'm busy, you're busy. What are they doing that these other agents are not? And it's because they haven't done anything the last number of months to really, take advantage of the situation we were in. That's what we came up with our little topic for today. It's how did we keep busy during a tough time to come out ahead? I did a lot of things. What are some things that you've heard other agents doing?
Well, attacking old leads, you know, spending more time on Facebook in the groups, prospecting with FISBOs. You know, think about it, right? How are FISBOs really marketing themselves right now? They don't know how to do it or what to do. Doing different things to cultivate the business. It's very easy to just give up, throw your hands up and say, you know what, nobody's buying houses. Or, somebody said to me, well, who's buying houses? The unemployment rate is so high. I'm like, okay. I said, so wait a minute. So you have 15 to 20% of people that are out of work. I said, but you've got 80 to 85% of people that are working. I was like, if you focus on the people that are working instead of the people that aren't, it changes your whole mindset.
100%. Like there's people out there that are investors that are going to always buy no matter what the situation is and how dire it is. They have no paycheck coming in. They actually buy properties to make them better, to beautify a town, a street, and then get a return on it when they sell it. So these people are always buying properties no matter what. And if you're an agent, why would you not find and work with a couple investors? There's investors that we know that are doing multiple deals per month. Those are multiple opportunities of closings that these agents could have if they had those relationships set up already. But no, they're not on social media. They're not doing anything. They're doing the complaints, and that's it. The woe is me, instead of trying to change. themselves, try to change what they're doing. If you're doing everything like everyone else, yeah, you're going to hit a roadblock. That's why look at what we've done as far as our social media game. We have our marketing Mondays. We're being consistent with it. It didn't just stop. Oh, COVID's getting a little better in our area. Let's just stop it. No, this is something we like doing. It's adding value, and we're being consistent. This is what we're trying to preach. We're practicing what we preach.
It's very easy to play the blame game, and say, oh, I don't have any business, or COVID, nobody's buying houses. Well, maybe during April or so, people really weren't buying houses yet. But what did you do to get ready for this time right now? Because now it's like super busy.
It is insane busy, and it only is that way if you put some time in and do some things, as far as, like you said, make some phone calls to past clients, and not just call, hey, do you want to sell your house? No, that's not how you start the conversation. You want to have a conversation, literally have a conversation. How's everything going? Has this virus affected you? And let them talk and let them spill out whatever's going on in their world. And then in the conversation, you start sprinkling it in there. Oh, the market's pretty sick right now. And I'm saying sick, it's a good thing. And it's something that everyone could take advantage of. Low interest rates, the hot market as far as listing of homes, the buyers, right? The inventory is so low right now. Some agents are reaching out to people. Hey, do you want to put your house on the market to make money? It's over asking now. That's crazy as far as what's going on. And houses are appraising for that as well.
Yeah, it's been a little retarded with all of that. Like, if you did an open house last year and you have that list from the open houses that you did, what are you doing with that list now? Right? What did you do with that list? How about any of the people that you called that were prospects or leads and they had bad credit? Did they fix it? Did you put them into a program to get their credit fixed? Because now is a great time for those people to come out of it and buy. You have to get you have to prep a lot of these people. But your March, April were times to hit the phones, hit the social media, talk to people, connect with people, do videos and things like that. If you weren't doing any of that and you don't have any business, it's your own damn fault.
And everybody was home for that period of time. It was a period of time everybody was home. And that's why we were talking, like, I'm going to step my A game up on my video and do more video and do a little show. And I was doing 2 a day in the beginning. Like, it was crazy. And I'm like, wait, this is going to be too much to kind of keep up with. And I want to be an example of what I preach. So if I'm going to do it well, I can't do 2 a day every single day consistently. That's just not possible in my world. But I did it. I was doing it. I'm like, why not? I was home. So I would do 1 in the morning. I would do 1 at night. And it has changed the game. Oh, yeah. It's overload. It's too much. And besides a little lives I do throughout the day as well. But I know everybody was around their phone, around their computer, around social media. You also have phone calls. And I like to do video calls because you could see the professional or your client and have a conversation, and they understand how passionate you are about your job, about doing what you're doing. And I say job, it's really a business. And we've had this conversation before. It's a business. It's not something that you are going to complain about. Oh, I hate my job. Well, if you hate it, get out of the business. That's not where you should be.
I would agree with you. We only have so much time. The question is, what are you going to do with your time? If you want results, then you have to do things that will achieve results. I don't even know how many agents I talk to that don't have a CRM system or don't have any kind of way of holding themselves accountable. Even if you use a Google spreadsheet, like, the cool thing about Google Sheets is that it's web-based, so you can use it anywhere or access it anywhere. But they don't keep track of things. They don't put their leads in there. From the open houses. How about the people that had agents? Well, maybe they didn't like their agent. You know how many times I have that conversation with an agent we go through their open house list and they say, oh, well, this person had an agent. Do you really, well, A, do you really know if they had an agent to begin with? Because, they just don't want to be bothered with people, or they don't want to be sold, right? Or B, what if their agent dropped the ball on them? What if their agent was one of these agents that doesn't want to work very hard? I had somebody that was pre-approved, given to an agent, and the agent didn't take them out within, a couple of days to look at houses, and these people were hot to buy. So what I wound up doing, I had to ship them to another agent. He took them out. 5 days, they were under contract, done.
And it's not difficult. Like you said, if you need an Excel spreadsheet, put every single contact in their first name, last name, have an email address, have a cell phone number, and that could be the most basic thing you use. And that's fine for now. And then use HubSpot. HubSpot is a great CRM. It's free. You can have it linked to your website, but it's something that you can actually put notes in, which is a common thing you should probably get used to doing. If someone has a dog, if somebody has birthdays, if somebody has, maybe certain hobbies, putting that in your notes. And when you're talking to them, they're like, hey, how's Fifi doing, your dog? And the person you're talking to be like, oh, wow. They remember. You didn't remember. And I'm being honest right now. You had it in your CRM, but that makes you think, or they think that you remembered. And that's what you need them to understand. You're emotionally connecting to them. So why not use some techniques? And some people might use this technique, some people won't. And we talk about this all the time, the action takers and those that don't. They just learn things, they don't use it, and they just go on their day. I would challenge people to start putting things in their notes, keeping a log of who they talk to. And then when you have that conversation with that client or prospect, bring that up, a dog, or maybe they golf, or maybe they're into cars or whatever. And watch the reaction that person will have when you say those things. They're going to be like, wow, you are awesome. You talk to all these people and you remember that I have a dog and I'm into cars, or things like that.
You remembered Fifi. Well, now is also a great time. How about the people whose transactions fell apart a couple of months ago or longer than that? Hey, Star.
What's going on, Star?
I challenge you to go back through your old leads and resurrect them, or just, follow back up with them, follow back around with them, and like I say, always ABC, always be conversing, right? So I had my truck, I took it over to Pep Boys to get some tires put on the truck, and then I needed to go and get a ride back over to get the truck, so I got a lift, right? Well, the guy is from Florida, he's from Miami. He has a startup company that he was involved with, and he wants to buy a house next year. So we get into a conversation about, I was like, oh, you ever think about selling real estate? He's like, nah, but, I thought about buying a house. I was like, oh, right there. Like that's the opening right there. You go for the jugular in a nice way. And what's up, Ruel? So the guy's actually going to be giving me a call. I gave him my card. He's going to give me a call to talk about it. And then part of my conversation is, hey, by the way, do you know anyone else that's thinking about buying or refinancing a property?
I was with Sam Mena last week, and he used to go to his office was Starbucks. And he would go into Starbucks, have his laptop, flip the laptop up, and he had the question, have you thought about real estate today or something? You could put any kind of question, but as you flip it up, so people see it, you don't have to say nothing. You go on your day, you're typing away, you're calling people, but people will see it. And he has his branding involved, and that's something very simple. Going to a location, it's a little billboard that you set up yourself, and people will probably reach out to you and be like, hey, how is the market doing? Maybe I'm thinking about, I'm a renter, maybe anytime we go out to dinner, or if I was renting an apartment many years ago and I was talking to somebody and I met Bassam Mustafa, who is with B&M Accounting. He was doing door hangers in the rental complex. And instead of me just taking the door hanger and be like, oh, shoe off, I actually had a conversation with him, and to this day, we did a live a couple weeks ago on Instagram, and we talked about that. We're like, wow, we just had a connection just from a conversation when he was doing door hangers. I go a step further. I want to get to know who you are and how we can collaborate at some point in the future.
It's a lot of it is about pushing. You have to push through, get out of your comfort zone. If you think you're done, keep going and do more. And that's what a lot of people, I guess, where they kind of they stop is at that point. But like I said, I challenge you right now to go back through all of your old leads, follow back with them, and see what comes out of it. Start another conversation. Hey, just want to check in with you and see if if you actually thought about picking up the real estate search again, or if they decided not to put their house on the market. Hey, just wanted to follow back with you and see if you've thought about putting that house up on the market now, or the market has been 10% increase in your area. Now might be that time to do it. The people say to me all the time, well, what do I say? Just say something. Pick something and start there. That's all you have to do. And think about what it is that you say. And then, all of these things that we talk about, Sean, they all kind of touch back with each other. Scripting and role playing, we talked about a couple of weeks ago, right? You should have been doing that while we were in our quarantine. That was a great time to connect with people in other parts of the country. Lab Coat Agents, there's a real estate happy hour. There's a gazillion Facebook groups out there for realtors, and connect with somebody to run your scripts and role playing with. Handle objections. If you don't know how to handle an objection, oh, you know what? I'm not thinking about buying anymore. Okay, can I ask you what's changed since then? But if you can't say that confidently enough, you know what most realtors say? Well, save my name and number and give me a call when you change your mind.
And every single one of them call. They always call that one person.
Of course they do.
Yes.
Of course they do. Ton of business out there because they're going to return your phone call.
Like you don't have to worry about it.
Engage them in a conversation or a question someplace. I like to play a little game, and my game is who's going to hang up first. Is it going to be me or is it going to be you? Chances are it's not going to be me.
Right. And just have those calls. Like we have Star. Marion's on. She does credit, right? She is somebody that's always collaborating with people, with real estate agents, with mortgage professionals, with investors, because credit is a massive main thing that you have to make sure you have control of or over, because it controls everything, from getting loans to rental, buying or renting an apartment. I think you have to have a good credit score, right? You can't have a 400 credit score to try to rent an apartment unless you go to like a private person, which even a private person should be checking people's credit. But that's something that you could always work on and improve.
You want to hear something funny? A lot of the the complexes, they have higher credit score requirements than we do for mortgages.
So it's just right there. It's a no-brainer. And then if you are a landlord and you're renting the people, I hope they do their due diligence and find out what these people are about. If they pay their bills on time and are gonna see their rent be consistent, because that's when you go into investing, you want to have a consistent return on your investment, not just putting up or fixing up properties and then people not paying their rent. Like that's just not the game that they want to be involved in.
I don't know if anyone's had any questions, but it goes back to it. If you don't have any business, there's a reason for it. And the first place to start is in the mirror. It's the first place to start. If I wake up every day unemployed. So you know what? I've got phone calls that I have to make. I have text messages that I have to make. I have to follow back up on applications that were put in, or running some ads and following back up with the leads that we were doing. Calling realtors or setting up Zooms and things like that. Just check in with people. It's amazing how many people don't have like their leads in a central place that they can look for. How about calling? If you're an agent, How about calling your past, contacts, your past clients, following back up with them and saying, hey, just want to check in, see how everything was going, coming along. How's your family? Are you guys safe? By the way, do you know anyone that's thinking about, buying or selling a house? Like, come on, it's an easy lead in.
It works consistently. And then it's not always you're going to get it for real estate or insurance or mortgages in that conversation. It might be for something else. It might be for credit repair. It might be for an attorney. Maybe they're thinking about getting divorced and you had a divorce attorney in your pocket. That's a recommendation. That's somebody that, that's happening. People are coming out of this current quarantine and getting divorced. So that's a value. That's a resource that you're giving to somebody else. Maybe you're into title. I think I saw Laura Danielle's on title. Those are resources that you're giving to others, and it comes back because everyone's having partnerships. Like they're always looking out for each other. That's the beauty with having those type of relationships. But if you're in this business just to do a deal and then move on to the next one, you're going to hit a wall, and it's going to be tough because you haven't laid the foundation for the future.
And I'm going to say this again. If you have no business, look in the mirror. If you have no business, look in the mirror. That's the first place to start because it's easy to blame everybody else. The industry, people say, oh, they're not buying houses. Bullshit. And, I had one of my agents, he had, I think, Memorial Day weekend, he had 4 houses go under contract. Now, this was back in May. Memorial Day weekend, he had 4 contracts go out that were accepted, 4 offers that were accepted. But nobody was buying houses in May, right, because of Corona. I'll challenge you. So go find yourself a deal. Go find yourself a transaction. Call your people. Follow back on leads. Be relentless. If you're not relentless, you're not going to get relentless results.
We're going to end on that. That's a good value right there. And those that are out there, please reach out to us. If we haven't had a conversation in a while, give us a call. I would love to have a conversation, not just to talk about insurance, about life, about business, how we can help you grow. That's what I'm all about. And I appreciate everyone that tunes in and watches us every Monday. And if they have questions, definitely reach out, put it in the comments below, or actually reach out to us personally. And let's, keep building relationships. That's the goal.
Exactly. If you guys, if anyone needs anything mortgage related, you want to talk about marketing, you want to talk about mentoring, you want to talk about running ads, getting leads, whatever it is, or like Sean said, if you just want to kind of just shoot the crap, we're all here. We're all here for this, and it's all about relationships in this business.
That's it. So we hope you have an awesome rest of your day.
Thanks.